For this decision in depth, I'm going to look at an early game situation. You can see it's turn 5 here, and stuff's already moving along, but we'll take a look at our kingdom here to do kind of our tops down. Yeah, the big highlight on this board is probably going to be blockade, as it usually is in games with blockade. In this case, there's so many 4s and 3s that you'd like to gain, whether it's a village, a conspirator. We have Maroon for trashing, and Maroon also is going to end up being our primary form of draw here, whether it's trashing Fortress, which means that Maroon can effectively just be a +2 cards, or maybe later on in the game you can even be trashing these blockades for a lot of extra cards. There's another gainer, an Artisan, that will also be pretty valuable, just because, there's substantially less delay than the blockade. Or Artisan gets it straight into your hand, so probably that's something that you're going to want to. Draw is a little bit weak. We talked about Maroon. There's also C-Chart for draw, which is fine, but not amazing, especially since you'll get thin enough from Maroon that having a little bit of extra, or having a little bit more than a little bit of draw is maybe not the most valuable thing ever, especially when your primary payload's going to probably be coming out of Conspirator here. Just playing a lot of these, you don't actually require a lot of draw if you're thin. So anyways, we're in our early game here, and this turn certainly went decently. We played a Fortress, we played a Guide, we've played a Blockade, as we certainly like to do every turn, and we've went ahead and blockaded Maroon, and now it's time to figure out what we're going to buy. So I think there's a couple of good options here. We can basically what we want to have happen is we want to have next turn be successful in a way. I mean, the successful in a way is going to be probably we're going to want to play this Maroon, maybe. Most importantly, we're going to want to play this Blockade, and if we play both, that's wonderful. So we kind of have to consider, we have our Maroon set aside. This is a good thing. We didn't have Maroon yet. We want to be trashing down. Certainly we want to be doing that. And so what we want to be doing is, if we're going to have our best turn ever, which is going to be playing the Maroon, playing the Blockade, we have to have plus action in our next hand. And so there's farmhands, there's Fortress, and in fact there is another one in Exploration that we could be buying. Farmhands or Fortress. Farmhands isn't going to set something aside. Not the most amazing thing ever. Fortress is fine. We have one of them. It's something the Maroon eventually is probably going to want to be trashing, so it's not bad to have a lot of them. But Exploration basically guarantees our next turn, right? We have the Maroon, and if we have the Maroon and if we have the Blockade, if we do Exploration, we will play both of them. And so in this case, I guess there's one other thing to consider, which is that we have a Guide on the map. But if you look at the next turn, and we have the Blockade in our starting hand, we're not going to be guiding it. And so if we have the Blockade in our starting hand, we have the Maroon in our starting hand, really we're screwed, right? We're going to blockade a farmland and set aside the Maroon, but that's not as much pace as we would like. And so in this case, the best way to make sure that I'm going to be playing the Maroon, playing the Blockade, this is the most important thing. I'm going to buy Exploration. I'm going to get the Villager from it. I might even get a coffer from it that'll allow me to go up and hit 6 next turn for Artisan, which would also be fantastic.